Hello, this is Oleg with OpenBOM, and today I'm going to demonstrate you how you can create bill of materials using OpenBOM, and why it's much easier and simpler and much more powerful comparing to spreadsheets. So what you can see is a Google spreadsheet with a simple bill of materials that I created before for this skateboard combined of different components. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to create a very simple minimalistic bill of materials for this skateboard, which will be much simpler than the one that I did before, combined only from 5 components: skate deck, axle, wheel, screw, and nut. So let's me go to OpenBOM. I just created my new OpenBOM account. Everything that I will be doing now will be done in a free account. So I can create new bill of materials, and let's call it, this is my minimalistic skateboard, part number. I created bill of materials. As you can see, OpenBOM create bill of materials with some basic settings. Everything is changeable. OpenBOM is completely flexible. You can define any properties. And now let's create these 5 components that I have. So let's start from skate deck, then go into wheel, screw, and nut. So I can add a component just by typing part number. So I can type part number, and I can start from going with part numbers, and that would be my wheel, for example. So as you can see, OpenBOM open the panel which helps me to define item, which then can be reused. So this, for example, for skate deck, that would be my skate deck, and I will have one skate deck, and this is the name of the item, skate deck, and cost would be $3.40. I save it, insert, I get a deck. So now let's add another item. So let's add a screw item. So I am typing part numbers. Later on I will show you how you can create and generate new part numbers. So let's take, that's gonna be a wheel. So wheel, skate wheel, 4, and description, skate wheel, and cost will be $2.50. So I get skate wheel. So let's continue with this a little bit more, and let's add additional row, and let's put an item for screws. So it's gonna be my screws. So I'm picking image. See, OpenBOM allows you to pick image. It's very important because then it's much more visual. And also, as an engineer, you can do bill of materials without images. But somebody who is on the shop floor and the other places, images are very helpful if you and protect you from making mistakes. So screw, and the cost would be 75 cents. And this is my screws, and then what I need nut. So put another item, and that would be my nut. And let's create this item, put an image of the nut, and that's gonna be a nut, and it's gonna be 35 cents. So far we're getting very simple bill of materials, and what I need to do now, I can create create bill of materials, and I can summarize the cost. So I will need 4 nuts, and so far I'm getting very simple bill of materials that I can manage in OpenBOM. And now let's create a little bit structure in this bill of materials, because if you remember, in my real bill of materials I get this structure for axle assembly, but in this spreadsheet this is just a visual effect. But in OpenBOM you can manage real structured bill of materials. So let me go to OpenBOM and let me add another item. So I would like to insert the row above, and I will put, and this is going to be the axle assembly. So assembly which will be combined of wheel, nut, screws. So for this example, this is what we would like to create, and this is my axle assembly, and I will need two, of course, for front and rear, and this is my axle assembly image, so I will use it as well, and I am adding it to bill of materials. So what I can do now I can restructure this bill of materials. So as you can see, this is something that Excel cannot do. We can visually make this skateboard assembly as a indented BOM, but that's not the structure. So let me show how can I do in OpenBOM much easier form. So that's everything we created until now. This is a single level, so we can switch to multi-level, and now we can change the structure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this item below this item. So what will happen is that this item is moved below this item, and now it's in the sub-level. So as you can see, 2-1 is a sub-level, so now I have a wheel as a part in a sub-assembly, which is the axle assembly. So I can do one more, I can move screws also, so I'm moving this as well, and now the same with nuts. So far I get now a structured bill of materials that has two items, and this is now a structure of the bill of materials. Now let me do one more thing. So imagine that I need to put this assembly and connect it to the deck, and I also need a screw and nut. So how can I put them? So this is a moment of time that you learn that OpenBOM is very powerful, and not only placing information in this table, which looks very similar to a spreadsheet, but also managing what we call reference and instances of the information. So for this particular case, we see that the wheel and nut are actually elements that are stored in OpenBOM databases. So I can see those are elements are already stored in the item database. You can customize it. That's probably will be a topic for the next conversation, the next video, but for the moment just remember that OpenBOM taking care of this information, and we can reuse it. So if I would like to create another entries for this bill of materials, and I would like to put, actually I would like to put it not here, I would like to put it in a different place. So let me add another item, and let me put nut, but now how can I search the one that I already have? So the one that I already have can be searched in different forms. I can type ahead, but I might not remember what's the part number for this nut. So that's why search can be useful. So search is useful, and I can search for nut. Well, in this case it was easy, but if you have more parts, it can be a fairly complicated task. So nut is here. This is the item that I want to put insert in the BOM. And take a look what happens. So I put this nut in, and I can do the same with the screw. So I can search for a screw, and also put it in a BOM. Pay attention, the first time I created those items, this information was stored in the catalog, so the next time we just reuse it, and the only thing that I need to do, I need to put the number of these components in this particular BOM. So I put 4 screws and 4 nuts for the second for this level, and now we have everything that we need in the bill of materials. So we can make a change, and we can technically manage this bill of materials using OpenBOM. So in my next video I will talk a little bit more about what can you do with this information after this information already managed and saved in OpenBOM. And meantime, That was Oleg with a very simple demonstration how you can start using OpenBOM in 5 minutes and why it's better than this spreadsheet. So stay tuned and talk to you later. Thank you very much. Bye bye.